I'm in Toronto, which is the most populated city in Canada. This is a major hub for people to come and visit from all around the world. And each year, more than 35 million tourists visit Canada. In fact, that's more than the entire population of 34 million people. Now, Canada is a huge country. It's the second largest in the world after Russia. But until recently, it was very expensive to fly from province to province. But now airlines are starting up, and it's making it a lot more convenient and less expensive to get around. Air Canada comes to mind for many tourists when they think of air travel in Canada. The airline has been around for more than 75 years. It flew its first flight in 1937 under the name Trans-Canada Airlines. It was created by an act of Parliament to bring air transportation and mail across the country. Air Canada was privatized over 25 years ago and merged with its #1 competitor, Canadian Airlines. Since then, it has become Canada's largest airline and has dominated the Canadian air travel market.
No one's forced to fly us. We're very pleased that we capture a very large share of the market, but this is a totally deregulated market, and we have to compete for every single customer that chooses us.
Today, Air Canada flies to over 60 destinations across the country and to over 140 points around the world. Air Canada has recently launched a new low-budget service called Air Canada Rouge to capture the growing leisure market.
Rouge started in July of 2013 and started flying to the Caribbean and Mexico and Central America, as well as Europe. We started with 4 airplanes and we'll be growing to 50 airplanes over 4 to 5 years. Rouge will allow Air Canada to offer very competitive prices in the leisure market for the first time.
Air Canada also has its eyes on the highly competitive and lucrative U.S. market.
People destined to the U.S. are discovering how much better Air Canada's product is than the average U.S. airline. I don't think they have the same quality. They don't have the updated interiors or in-flight entertainment offering that we have. And of course, if you're connecting, they haven't got access to this new streamlined processed U.S. pre-clearance that we have at our 3 main hubs.
It's not just Air Canada who is looking south. Porter Airlines, which flies out of the Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport, has the other Canadian airlines watching them very closely. They have some ambitious plans to bring more competition into the market. In its 7 years, Porter Airlines has defined itself through its unique selling points of its downtown airport's location and its business class for all approach to customer service.
We started back in 2006 and we're now operating some 26 Bombardier Q400 aircraft to 19 destinations in Canada and the United States. We have recently announced our intention to acquire up to 30 Bombardier CS-100 Whisper jets that we'll start using in the early part of 2016 and covering interesting cities like Vancouver, Calgary, Los Angeles, Florida, and the Caribbean. Obviously, that being conditional upon us getting the necessary approvals that are required.
Moving west across Canada is Air Canada's main competitor, the Calgary-based airline WestJet. For 17 years, they've offered an alternative for Canadian consumers.
We have a huge focus on cost. We believe, as all businesses do, that the one with the lowest cost wins. But more than just cost, we have a renowned corporate culture where 86% of our WestJetters actually own shares in our publicly traded company. It's our secret sauce, if you will. Your culture is your people, and your people are your culture.
WestJet's competitive nature has led to start Encore, a new airline whose focus is the country's smaller regional markets, traditionally the domain of Air Canada and other independent carriers.
These are communities which, if they currently have air service, they probably only have one carrier, and they are paying exorbitant airfares right now because there is only one. So what we've said is we're going to come into those communities with discounts of up to 50% of what they're currently paying. And this has been the track record for WestJet all along. With our 737 service, whenever we've come into a community, we have lowered fares dramatically for people, and that has stimulated travel.